So, President Barrow assaulting, his attack is an assault on the civil society and the advocates in this country. First point. Secondly, you went to the journalists, Mr. President, came and said that the journalists are the ones who have given Marijo Bate space. We will continue, and as for my media, you best know that if you don't want to listen to or want to see what Marijo Bate, don't bother coming to our media, guynako.com. I can tell you that, Karema, we have taken a position. We are going to broadcast what Marijo Bate is asking, saying. We will continue to give him platform. He is here to advocate for a new Gambia, a new constitution, which, Mr. President, you said that you were going to push before you brought Fabakary Tombong Jatta. Mr. President, your statements on it is unbelievable. Mr. President, we are putting you on notice. We are putting you on notice. If you don't know who I am, you know who we are. We are not afraid to say who we are. Mr. President, we are telling you that we fought against Jammeh, and if you want to put your gloves off, we are here. In fact, we left and returned back into this country. Mr. President, the move that you have decided to take, you best know that us Gambians are not going to sit down, lying down to take that. We did not remove Jammeh, left from where we are, came back here to consolidate, to be part of a new constitution in this country. This is what we are demanding. This is why we are believing in this, to get sure that the TRRC and the Never Again slogan is respected. And these people that you are highlighting, are those who are fighting for that. Those people who you are pushing ahead are those who don't want a new constitution. They are those who want to continue ignoring the plight of the victims. Mr. President, finally, the statement that you delivered on it in front of the religious leaders, Mr. President, we want to remind you that Yahya Jammeh did similarly use the religious leaders in this country to suppress the rights of citizens. Well, Mr. President, we want to remind you that there is something called the Constitution, which guarantees freedom of expression. There is something called the Constitution, which gives our rights. And Mr. President, we are not ready to sell that for nobody. Mr. President, get ready. We are going to occupy the streets of this country. We will occupy the streets of this country. Our rights will not be abrogated. We are going to demonstrate. At the end of the year, before the election, you said that you are not going to allow people to have permit. Let Mr. President let you know that you have no power to demand that. You have no power to determine who should get a permit, who should not get a permit. Yes, you will allow APRC and the rest and the likes. They are fine. Let them get a permit and demonstrate against the TRRC. Well, we will see. We will see about that, Mr. President. Us, the citizens, we are putting you on notice. We fought against Yahya Jammeh. We removed him here in this country. And let me tell you, Mr. President, if at all this is the way you want to, the way that you are going, you have shown us that the gloves are off, and we are telling you that the gloves are off. You want to use religious leaders against citizens, to abrogate the rights of citizens. We are not going to sit down and watch that happen. We have to march up to State House and demand that you step down. It will happen. Let me tell you that, Mr. President. We are not backing down. This video is to let people, this is not backing. In fact, Mr. President, what you have done, the words, the statements that you have said, you have put one of our colleagues in danger. His family, himself, those who are around him are in danger. Your supporters are on their WhatsApp saying that they want to kill this man. We have it. We have the receipts. It's here. If something is to happen to Mr. Jobate, you will be held accountable. Police also. Your supporters have been placed on notice. Let them be very careful. If they were to touch one of ours, we will ensure that we also follow suit to make sure that we get them arrested and they will face justice in this country. Nobody is going to rubbish the never again slogan here in this country. And we sit down and do nothing about it. Religious leaders, finally, let me tell you this. Me, I'm not afraid. I'm a Christian. I am a Christian. But I was embarrassed to see our religious leaders that they haven't learned from 22 years of dictatorship. Barrow is saying that he wants to abrogate the right of a citizen, and our religious leaders are screaming, shouting, jubilating, jeering, clapping. And you think that we as Gambians, we are supposed to respect you as religious leaders? We have no respect for such religious leaders. Such religious leaders don't deserve to be given any position in this country. How can the president stand in front of you on Eid of all days, spewing hate speech against a citizen, and our religious leaders are sitting there clapping, cheering him on? Mr. President, the gloves are off. The gloves are off. And the gloves are off. You are the one who started to take off the gloves. When you won the presidential election, your statement, your speech was so welcoming. We thought that you are going to try to unify this country. How Macky Sall made what efforts to engage with the opposition to unify the country. We thought your trips had shown you something, had taught you something. I'm not going to do a Facebook post about Madi Jobate and the situation. You know why? It is so serious. I prefer to do a video live and to fast so fast. Fast so fast. Let them see us. And nobody is going to hide here. President Barrow, if you think that we came to consolidate this country and we are going to consolidate the democratic gains in this country and we are going to leave you to just turn this country. I mean, one thing I always say, when President Barrow comes out with such statements, such unbelievable, crazy statements that makes Gambians want to give up in this country, I say to myself, President Barrow is not more determined about this country than I am. And I will repeat that again here today. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. You are not, President Barrow is not more determined than we, the advocates, who gained nothing, and we are not looking for anything. The gain and the value for us is democracy in this country. Freedom of expression. The last thing which Gambians used to say, Mr. Barrow, is that you were tolerant. You have proven to be very intolerant yesterday. On Eid Day, to deliver such a message, incomprehensible. I'll end my video here. I'm shocked at President Barrow. I can't write a Facebook post, short post, no. Every time I try to type on Facebook to write something about it, I end up saying I'm going to delete it. But let me say something. The gloves are off, Mr. President. You want your citizens to come against you? Well, you are the one who asked for it. And we are against your hate speech, your dangerous speech against an activist, an advocate, a human rights, renowned human rights advocate in this country. We are against it. And we are against what you are trying to roll out, whether it is dictatorship 2.0. We are here to fight against dictatorship 2.0. It's here too, Mr. President. And let me tell you, we are not going to delete this. We are going to leave it here. And we want it to reach to the authorities. Mr. President, you cannot continue to try to challenge citizens like this. How can you bring Sidin Jai and Fabakary Tombong Jatta in our National Assembly? And you are telling us that Madi Jobate is now the bad citizen? Is the one who wants to light up this country? People who have caused Gambians to flee this country are the ones that you put in the National Assembly. You don't claim that those people are the ones trying to burn up this country, but Madi Jobate. Mr. President, you have touched something you should not have even thought about touching. I don't know who advised you. And I know with your lands minister, you are going to sue Madi Jobate. Go ahead. We are here. We are here. We challenge, in fact, we implore you to go ahead and meet us, Mr. President. Because you think that you are the state, and I've had this thing because of the state thinks that they are all powerful. Us, the citizens, we know the power we have. We, the citizens, put you there. That's what you said, Mr. President, in your speech yesterday. We put you there. No? Respect the citizens. Respect those who are paying your salary, Mr. President. That's the least you can do as a president. That we are giving you over 300,000 a month. How much thousand are you making from us, our taxpayers' money? You cannot give us the respect that we deserve. You cannot allow Gambians to have freedom of speech, freedom of expression. We are not allowed to criticize you, and you are allowed to take our 300,000 every month. Over 300,000, because that's your base. I'm sure it's way more than that, because that was some years ago when we were doing our research on that. Mr. President, we are not going to accept it. If you are going to take our money, you will take the criticism. You will take the criticism. If you disagree, go to court. You have enough money, you have lawyers who can go to court for you. But not to mount a podium releasing such hate speech against Gambians. It's not going to be tolerated. We're not going to sit down lying and taking it. And you best know. Let me tell you, Mr. President, if you don't know, let me tell you right now, there is a swell of discontent that you have been fanning. There is a swell of discontent in the country. Maybe you don't know, and your advisors are covering you, have been fanning, and it is going to, this swell of discontent is going to burst. This is where I'm going to end my speech. The swell of discontent, which the president has been fanning, it is swelling and growing. Fabakary Tombong Jatta, your actions, they are just crazy. From the moment, Mr. President, when you said that you are going to go into an alliance with the APRC, this swell of discontent, you have been growing it. Swell of discontent, you have been growing it. Now you put Fabakary Tombong Jatta in there. Now God knows all kinds of rumors are flying left, right, and center about what? Who is going to be in your cabinet.
We don't care.
Okay. And that's the track that's a boy. Since yesterday, I've been meaning to write a post on Facebook about this 𝐷𝐿 𝐷𝐿 statements from the president of the Gambia, Adama Barrow, claiming that 𝐷𝐿 𝐷𝐿 and civil society, some civil society, are trying to burn up this country. Then buga laka, then buga tal dekabi. Mr. President, it's very unfortunate to hear the president talking like this. That's why we have the Daffodil Anthem on. Barrow, listen. Okay. Intimidation tactics like Jammeh is not going to work in this new Gambia. What I want, my message is going to be very simple and short, because this is actually a message we want it to reach to the authorities themselves. President Barrow has been trying to send a message to the Gambian people, us, the civil society, the media, the advocates, that the gloves are off. We are hearing the message. Before the presidential elections, President Barrow was saying that after the presidential elections, Kendu Gena Gayami is instructing the IGP not to give what? Permit. Since then, we are seeing the crackdown on people going out to protest. No permit, is being offered, people have been shut down from going out to express themselves. But let me remind Gambians, this is the same government that gave Fabakary Tombong Jatta a protest permit to go and deliver a statement, a speech, to march in Banjul, to go to the Minister of Justice and hand a petition against the TRRC. No, those people don't want to talk. We live in this country now, this Gambia that we live in. President Barrow can look at Gambians and elevate Fabakary Tombong Jatta and 𝐷𝐄 𝐙𝐎𝐻 into the highest office in the National Assembly, third in line to govern this country. Where is the never again slogan? But no, those are the people who are good citizens. This is what President Barrow wants us to understand. President Barrow wants us to understand that these are the people he considers as good citizens, highly capable, who can run the affairs of this country. We say no to that. We say no to that. The only reason why you haven't seen the people out is because of Ramadan. We have to come out and voice our dissatisfaction against how President Barrow is running this country. Very disappointed in President Barrow's statement yesterday. Angry, dejected, disrespected by President Barrow's statement yesterday. Because one, he first said, these are the activists. That means that he is not just pointing out Madi Jobate. He is pointing out the advocates, and Madi Jobate is who he believes is at the forefront of it. He is pointing out those who are fighting for human rights and the betterment and the future of this country to be better. Those who are fighting, who believe and are resolute in the reforms in the new Gambia to happen. Because Madi Jobate is one of those who are spearheading that effort. So he singled him out. The president said,